We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which this material was created is the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq peoples. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship, which Wallace Tuig, Mi'kmaq, and Passamaquoddy peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1726. The treaties did not deal with surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq and Wallace Tuig title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations.
Hi everyone, we're from Resurgo Place, home of the Moncton Museum and Transportation Discovery Center.
And we love history.
Ever noticed anything like this before? What do you think it is? Does it represent anything?
Let's talk about monuments. We're curious to know why they exist.
Okay, so what's a monument anyway?
Essentially, a monument is a statue, building, or other structure erected to commemorate a notable person, social group, or event. There are four main categories of monuments: peoples and social groups, individuals, events, and war memorials.
Okay, so monuments were created with a purpose, to keep remembrance alive. It's as though a trail of breadcrumbs was left throughout the city to help us learn about local history.
Breadcrumbs?
Yeah, you know, like connected bits of information or evidence.
Oh, so monuments are like clues.
Exactly, clues to our past.
Cool, well let's investigate. Oh, I know this one. This is our war monument.
It is. So, what are all these names?
Well, it looks like these are the names of the people who died in World War I. And then these books are added after, and these are the names of people who died in World War II, and there's even a couple of people who died in the Korean War.
Wars can have a very long-lasting impact on a lot of people. It's definitely a topic worthy of notice.
That's right. That's why I decided to create this monument in the first place.
A good reason. Let me tell you a story. On October 4th, 1869, a powerful storm slammed into the Bay of Fundy. High winds and a higher than normal tide stirred up huge waves, causing major flooding and damage to dikes, farmlands, wharves, businesses, and even homes. Here in Moncton, the Petitcodiac River, which is right in front of us, it overflowed its banks by 2 to 3 meters.
This blue line, that's the high water marker. It serves to indicate that this extraordinary event happened right here. But standing here today, it's hard to believe that such a storm ever took place.
A little like wars, I can imagine that a natural disaster like the Saxby Gale had long-lasting consequences for many people.
Yep, once again, we see an event very well deserving of a monument.
Oh, this is a different one.
So who is this? There's not much writing on the statue.
Well, a little like the last monument, maybe the location can serve as a clue. That right there? That's the Moncton Public Library.
Oh. And he's reading a book. Is he an author?
Close. This is Northup Frye. He was a Canadian literary critic and theorist, one of the most influential in the 20th century. Do you see the resemblance?
I see a clue.
Oh, that's so neat. Trains are often associated to our local heritage. Maybe he's thinking of his years growing up here in Moncton.
Now this one's neat. Not only does it represent a person, it also includes a list of names and it commemorates an event.
Which event?
Moncton's 100th anniversary. This is Moncton's first mayor, Joseph Salter. We also have a list of all of Moncton's mayors, and there's room for a few more.
Cool, but what's he standing on? It looks like a ship.
Well, the base is designed to look like a ship's hull, and these are 20-foot high sails because Moncton's first industry was shipbuilding, and it was very prominent at the time.
Look, there's even another clue. It looks like he's holding one of those half-hull models. It was a tool commonly used in the industry. It was kind of like a blueprint for shipbuilding. Okay, let's do a recap. So, monuments are generally created to help us remember historic events, important people, or a group of people.
Right, but not just any event or any people. They have to be deemed significant for specific reasons.
Do you know what those reasons might be?
It was prominent at the time.
Like shipbuilding,
It had long-lasting consequences for many people.
like wars or natural disasters,
It's a topic worthy of notice.
like Northup Frye, who became a very important figure in Canadian literature.
Right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our investigation, and we'll investigate some monuments back home, too.
And remember, monuments are kind of like clues.